Israel thanking the US for using its veto, halting a Security Council resolution for an immediate ceasefire.
America's impunity has to end. It's gone on for way too long, for far too long. The United States has made a complete malicious mockery of even the concept of international law, of human rights. They've made a mockery of even the concept of peace and stability and security. It's a country that acts in the world like a serial killer. Everywhere they go, they leave bodies. Everything they touch, they break. So, I mean, you tell me why the U.S. should be in the United Nations. Why the United Nations is an organization that should have been formed specifically to counter the United States. It's an insult to the whole planet to have America sitting in the UN, much less sitting on the Security Council, the greatest threat to global security, and they dominate the Security Council. It's time, it's past time for the United Nations to invoke Article 6 and expel the U.S. from the United Nations. Well, you and I both know that the United States has never treated the UN as if they're just a member of the UN. The United Nations, as long as the U.S. is in there, is just like a meeting room where all of the countries in the world go to get their orders from the boss. They even make a mockery of the name United Nations, because it doesn't matter how united the nations of the world may be. Well, they've been united for the last 50 years on the issue of Palestine, and it didn't matter. The U.S. will overrule them every time. The United Nations, so-called, is just a platform for American exceptionalism and rejectionism. And as long as the United Nations allows this and does not invoke Article 6 and expel the United States, I think that every country in the world is just participating in some sort of ritual humiliation and doing nothing but offer tribute to the very country that consistently and insistently does all of the crimes that the UN was created supposedly to prevent from being done. It's like a court where the criminal who's supposed to be on trial sits in the judge's bench. It's as if the victims are in the court being sentenced by the one who victimized them. It offends every principle that the United Nations claims to stand for. It's not like they don't have the protocols. They have the protocols, and they have the mechanisms to do something about it and to put it to an end. And that's exactly what they need to do, and they need to do it now.
This is the only way to end this terrible cycle of violence once and for all.